Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our podcast. I'm Sarah, and I'm so happy you're here with us today. If you're learning English and you sometimes feel nervous, stuck, or even silent when you try to speak, don't worry, you're not alone. So many learners feel that way. That's why today's episode is called From Silent to Spontaneous. Speak English without overthinking. It's all about helping you go from feeling frozen to speaking more freely and naturally, step by step. And of course, I'm not doing this alone. Jimmy is here too. Hey, Jimmy.
Hey, Sarah. Hi, everyone, and welcome. This topic is super important, and I think it's going to help a lot of people. I know that feeling of having so many thoughts in your head, but when it's time to speak, nothing comes out. Your brain is working so hard, translating every word, checking grammar, worrying about mistakes. It's like a traffic jam in your mind. And what happens? You stay quiet. You smile. You nod. But inside, you wish you could say more. That's what we're here for, to help you break that silence and start speaking without fear.
Exactly. You know, when I talk to English learners, many of them say things like, I understand everything, but I can't speak. Or, I translate in my head and it's too slow. These are very common struggles. But guess what? You can overcome them. Speaking English doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be fast. It just has to be real. And with some small changes in how you practice and how you think, you can become more confident. You can become spontaneous.
That's right. But before we go deeper, if you're enjoying this podcast so far, please take a second to click the like button and subscribe to our channel. It really helps us reach more learners like you. And of course, we'll keep bringing you simple, clear
Jimmy.
English to help you speak better.
So let's
every week.
begin by talking about one big reason people stay silent: fear of making mistakes. A lot of learners are afraid of saying something wrong. Maybe they think people will laugh or they'll feel embarrassed. But here's the truth. Making mistakes is not a problem. In fact, it's part of learning. When babies learn to speak, do they say everything correctly? No, they make lots of mistakes, but they keep going. And we think it's cute, right? The same goes for you. Your English doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to be used.
Totally agree. I like to say fluency comes from using the language, not from studying the rules too much. Of course, grammar is important, but if you only focus on grammar, you'll get stuck. You'll always be thinking, is this the right tense? Is this the right word? And by the time you finish that thought, the conversation has moved on. So here's a tip. Try to speak first, think later. Let your ideas flow. Even if your sentence isn't perfect, most people will understand you. The more you speak, the better you'll get.
Yes, and this is why practice is key, but not just any practice. You need the kind of practice that builds your speaking confidence. Reading and listening are helpful, but they are not enough. You need to speak. And if you don't have someone to talk to, you can still practice. You can speak out loud to yourself. You can describe what you're doing. For example, I am cooking dinner. Now I am cutting the vegetables. This kind of speaking helps your brain connect words with actions. It builds fluency, even when you are alone.
That's a great example. I always tell my students, create an English world around you. Talk to yourself, think in English, name things in your room in English. Say simple sentences in your head like, I'm going to the store, or I feel tired today. When you make English a normal part of your day, it becomes easier to speak. And another thing, don't wait until your sentence is perfect before you speak. Just speak. You can fix the grammar later. The goal is not perfection. The goal is communication.
You don't have to be advanced to be a good communicator. You just have to be willing to try. And I want to say this directly to our listeners. If you're listening to this podcast, you are already doing something amazing. You are learning. You are growing. You are showing up. So give yourself credit for that. And remember, every small step counts. Even listening to this right now is helping you become more spontaneous in English.
Yes, and here's something fun to try. Choose a simple topic, like your favorite food, your job, or your daily routine. Then, try talking about it for 1 or 2 minutes without stopping. Don't worry about mistakes, just go. You can record yourself if you want, and then listen. The first time, it might feel hard. You might pause a lot.
but the second time will be better. And by the fifth or sixth time, you'll be much more fluent. It's like training a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets.
That's a great tip, Jimmy. And let's not forget the power of mindset. The way you think about speaking English affects how you speak. If you tell yourself, I can't speak, I'm bad at English, then your brain will believe it. But if you say, I'm learning, I'm getting better, I can do this, then your brain starts to believe that too. So be kind to yourself. Talk to yourself like you would talk to a good friend. Encourage yourself, support yourself. That positive mindset makes a huge difference.
Absolutely. And remember, speaking English is not a test. It's a way to connect with people. It's not about showing off your vocabulary. It's about sharing your thoughts, your feelings, your stories. And people don't care if your English is perfect. They care if you're present, if you listen, if you try. So stop overthinking and just speak. Even if it's simple, even if it's slow, speak. The magic is in doing it,
Talked about
not just
fear
thinking.
and mindset and how they stop people from speaking. Let's keep going with some practical strategies. One of the easiest ways to become more spontaneous is to use what we call sentence patterns. These are simple sentence forms you can practice and use in many different situations. For example, I like, or I'm going to, or can you? These are like tools in your language toolbox. If you learn these patterns, you don't need to build every sentence from zero. You just change the words inside the pattern.
Yes, that's such a smart way to build confidence. When you know the structure of a sentence, your brain can relax. You don't have to think so hard. You can focus on the message, not the grammar. And the best part is, you can use these patterns every day. Let's say you learn, I need to. You can practice it like this. I need to go to work. I need to buy some bread. I need to call my friend. It becomes automatic. And when something is automatic, it feels natural and spontaneous.
Exactly. And the more you repeat these patterns, the faster you speak. Your brain doesn't stop to translate. It just speaks. That's the goal. So here's a fun challenge for our listeners. Take one pattern each day and try to use it 10 times. Say it out loud, write it in a notebook, use it in a message or a voice recording. For example, today you can use I want to. Try saying, I want to learn more English. I want to travel. I want to drink coffee. It's simple but powerful.
Yes, I love that. And another great technique is shadowing. Shadowing means listening to a short sentence and repeating it right away, like an echo. You can do this with a podcast, a YouTube video, or a movie scene. It helps you with pronunciation, rhythm, and speed. At first, it feels difficult, but if you do it for just 5 minutes a day, your speaking will improve so much. And it also trains your brain to stop translating because you're copying the natural English directly.
I often tell my students, find a speaker you like, someone who speaks clearly and slowly. Then pause after each sentence and repeat it. Try to copy the tone, the stress, the sound. You don't have to be perfect, just try. This helps you build what we call muscle memory for speaking. Your mouth gets used to the movement of English words. That makes a big difference when you want to speak in real life.
And that brings us to another important point, listening. Good speakers are also good listeners. When you listen a lot, you start to recognize patterns, phrases, and expressions. You hear how people ask questions, how they answer, how they express emotions. And soon, you start using those same expressions without thinking. That's why we always recommend listening to real conversations, like this podcast, every day, even just 10 or 15 minutes.
Absolutely. Listening is input. Speaking is output. If you want to speak more easily, you need to give your brain the right input. That means simple, clear English that you can understand and repeat. And guess what? You don't need to understand every word. If you understand 70 or 80%, that's enough. Focus on the meaning, not the individual words. That's how you train your brain to stay calm and listen naturally without overthinking.
I think that's a big change for many learners. They think they must understand everything or they panic. But understanding the idea is often enough. And when you're in a real conversation, you can always ask for help. You can say, "Can you say that again?" Or "What does that mean?" These are great phrases to learn. They show that you are interested. They keep the conversation going.
And
they give
speaking
you
of
time
conversations, let's talk about small talk. Small talk is the kind of friendly, everyday conversation we use with people we don't know well, like in the elevator or at work or with a neighbor. It's simple, but it's also scary for many learners. Why? Because you have to answer quickly. You have to be spontaneous. But here's the secret. Small talk is usually very predictable. People ask the same kinds of questions. How are you? What do you do? How is your weekend?
Yes, and once you learn the common questions and prepare some simple answers, small talk becomes easy. You don't need to say something amazing. You just need to respond. You can say, "I'm good, thanks. And you?" Or, "I work in an office." Or, "I relaxed at home." Keep it simple. Keep it friendly. The more you practice these short answers, the more confident you'll feel. And soon, you'll start asking the questions too.
And that's when the real magic happens. When you stop only answering and start asking, the conversation grows. And remember, even asking simple questions like, "Do you like music?" or "What do you usually do on weekends?" makes you a great communicator. It's not about long, difficult words. It's about showing interest and connecting. That's what real English speaking is all about.
Exactly. So if you feel shy, that's okay. Just prepare a few small phrases. You don't need a script, just some tools you can use anytime. And every time you try, it gets easier. Step by step, you go from silent to spontaneous. And don't forget, if you're enjoying this podcast, please like the video and subscribe to our channel. It means a lot to us, and we're here to support you every week with fresh English content made just for you.
That's right. And remember, this is a journey. You don't need to be fluent tomorrow. You just need to keep going, keep trying, keep practicing, and you'll get there. We'll talk more about that in just a minute, especially how to stay motivated and keep practicing even when you're busy or tired.
We
So
talked
stick
about
with
fear,
us.
mindset, sentence patterns, shadowing, and small talk. Now let's talk about something just as important, motivation. Learning to speak English can take time, and sometimes you feel tired or discouraged. That's completely normal. You might ask yourself, "Why am I still struggling?" Or "Will I ever speak fluently?" But the truth is, everyone has good days and bad days. The key is to keep going, even when it feels slow. Progress doesn't always feel fast, but it's always happening if you keep practicing.
That's such a good point. Motivation comes and goes, so you can't always depend on it. But you can create small habits that support your learning every day. You don't need 3 hours. Even 15 minutes can make a difference. For example, listen to a podcast like this while you clean the kitchen or walk to work. Read one page of a simple English book. Say 5 sentences out loud in the morning. These small actions add up. You stay connected to English every day, and that builds fluency over time.
Yes, and another way to stay motivated is to track your progress. Keep a little notebook or a note on your phone. Write down the new words or phrases you learn. Record yourself speaking and listen again after a week or two. You'll be surprised. Maybe you'll hear that you sound more confident or that your sentences are longer and smoother. That kind of progress is real, and seeing it will help you stay excited to keep going.
Absolutely. And sometimes it's good to remember why you started. Maybe you want to travel. Maybe you want to get a new job. Maybe you want to understand movies without subtitles. Whatever your reason is, write it down. Look at it often. That why can push you forward when you feel stuck. It's like your personal reason for learning. It gives your practice meaning. You're not just
That's
learning
beautiful,
words.
Jimmy.
You're building a new part
And I
of your
also
life.
want to say this. It's okay to take breaks. Sometimes your brain needs to rest. Don't feel guilty if you miss a day. Just come back the next day. Learning a language is like planting a tree. You don't see growth every day, but something is happening. Your brain is learning. Your confidence is growing. So trust the process. Be patient with yourself. And don't compare yourself to others. Your journey is your own.
Yes, and speaking of confidence, let's share a few more simple tricks to help our listeners speak more freely. One of my favorites is this. Before you speak, take a breath. Smile. Even a small smile can relax your face and your body. It also helps your voice sound more friendly and natural. Then, speak slowly. Many learners try to speak fast because they think it sounds more fluent. But fast speaking is not better. It's just harder to understand. So slow down. It's okay.
Yes, slow and clear is always better than fast and messy. And don't be afraid to pause. Native speakers pause all the time. We think, we start again. That's normal. You can say things like, let me think, or what I mean is, these are natural English expressions and they give you time. Use them. They make you sound confident, even if you're still finding the right words.
And don't forget, speaking English is a skill, like playing guitar or learning to cook. You won't be perfect at first, but if you practice, if you try, if you keep coming back, you will get better. You don't need to be a native speaker. You just need to be a brave speaker, someone who's not afraid to try. And the best part is, the more you speak, the easier it becomes. Soon you won't need to translate. You won't need to plan every word. You'll just speak, naturally, spontaneously.
And that's what this whole episode is about. Going from silent to spontaneous. Going from fear to flow. You can do it. Start small. Speak a little every day. Practice the sentence patterns. Listen and repeat. Smile. Be kind to yourself. And slowly, your English voice will grow stronger. We believe in you. You are already on your way. You've already started, and that's something to celebrate.
Yes, and we want to say thank you for spending time with us today. If this episode helped you, please give us a like and hit that subscribe button. We create this podcast for you, for learners who want real, simple English that actually helps them speak. So let us know in the comments, what part of today's episode helped you the most? And what's one small thing you'll do today to practice speaking?
We'd love to hear your answers. And if you want more episodes like this, more ideas, more practice, more support, make sure you're subscribed. We're here every week with new topics to help you grow. And remember, you don't need to be perfect. You just need to speak. One word at a time, one day at a time.
Take care, everyone. Keep speaking, keep smiling, keep learning. And we'll see you next time on the podcast.
Bye for now.